Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Fatman and Robyn Podcast. My name is Marcus Stevens, represented as the Fat Man. Wanted it up.
To hit me?
Served it up. A nice hot platter for you.
I prefer cold butter on today.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm Robyn.
heat wave in Philadelphia. Welcome, everybody. We are now officially in year two of the Fatman and Robyn Podcast. My voice broke on there, like I'm going through
Numero
puberty. But yes, officially. Okay, Chino. It wouldn't be the podcast about Chino doing something.
Chino
Yes.
said year two for me too.
So year two, we started on June 24th, 2020. 2020. For some reason, that sounded just weird, 2020, but 2020. Um, we started on June 24th. That was the first episode, and now, hey, Trey. He's gonna do something dumb. But now, yes, we are officially now in year two of the podcast. Can you believe we recorded more 50 episodes of this podcast?
I can believe it.
Okay. It kind of feels like yesterday where we were in the basement recording for the first episode. Like I remember that like it was yesterday. Um, so for those who were riding with us since the beginning, or maybe you haven't, and this might be your first episode, um, I wanted to do the podcast once we had finished all 24 movies of Bond, right? So we can discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
And we looking very intently in my face.
Looking at your nose.
No. Get away. Stop. It's over. It's done with.
It's not over because it's still there.
It will be away soon. Anyway, can we focus on the retrospect?
Yeah, go ahead, talk.
And so we originally did the Bond episode first, and I was like, oh, we'll just do this as all one big episode. And then, but again, I didn't really realize that 24 movies we just watched, so we're not going to take just like a half hour to 45 minutes talking about it, because again, we spent this is like weeks at a time, weeks of our lives that we dedicated to watching these movies. So that ended up we didn't sit down and record for 2.5 hours straight that day. But of course
it didn't feel like that.
It didn't, because again, I was as happy to gush about something we had just consumed, like just to get it all out. And gosh. I was gushing because it was great. I enjoyed talking about it.
Like a gusher?
Except for the Timothy Dalton movies, because
they weren't bad.
Who was the villain on The Living Daylights? Exactly.
Is that the walking one?
Nope. Timothy Dalton was in.
Well, that wasn't walking. That was the last movie of what's his face.
What's his name?
Roger.
There you go. Good job. Anyway, forget that. So yeah, that was going to be the first episode, but then Robyn was like, well, we should probably do an actual introduction episode.
Was that my idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we recorded.
I'm smart.
You are. So we recorded that after the Bond episode. So
my boobs are just not doing it today.
So that was the official first episode, was the introduction episode, but we recorded it after the Bond episode, which is that's a little Fatman and Robyn Easter eggs for y'all. Even if you watch both of those, if you listen to them both, they both say this is the first episode of the podcast, because it was so ingrained into the intro that I couldn't take it out. So I left it in. But both, I mean, it's kind of like introduction with the pilot episode, right? And then like episode 2 was really the start of the story and things like that. So I feel like that's how it was for our podcast as well.
That's my favorite episode.
It's a great episode. It's a great introduction to who we are, our humor, the things you can expect. It's a great pilot. And because it's such a great pilot, because it's the first episode, it is the most downloaded episode of the podcast.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Which is to be expected, because again, it's the intro. You want to get a read of what the podcast is going to be about. So I kind of expected that to be the most downloaded thing. It's supposed to be. That's his job.
Yeah.
The first is supposed to be the most viewed.
I'm okay with that then.
I'm more impressed by episodes that came out later that did good. Like a lot of episodes for the theme show, the tournament did very well. Actually, both tournaments did pretty nice. Like between like 10 and up usually for most of them, which is good. But yeah, so yeah, the intro episode is our most downloaded episode. We usually try to record between like 30 minutes to an hour. That's usually the medium, but sometimes it gets long. We were doing I think it was earlier this year, we did We did the streaming service rankings. It was
Mhm.
early this year or late last year, but that was almost an hour and a half. That was almost a movie length episode. And that just speaks to how many gosh darn streaming services there are.
So many.
So get your act together. Somebody need to bundle them together.
It would never happen.
It's going to happen.
Well, you'd have to, in order to get all the streaming services together into one, they would have to relinquish that power.
Somebody would have to be an overhead.
Exactly.
Or an overlord.
One, exactly. And
there's
there's
so many people.
That person would probably be the third most powerful person in the world after Jeff Bezos, Mickey Mouse, and that person.
What if it's like a combination of them? Like a, what's it called? Like a Voltron kind of thing of all the most powerful heads of like all the studios.
Jeff Bezos is Mickey Mouse right now, and
I didn't say that because I like Jeff
together
Bezos. I like Mickey Mouse, even though
working to take over the streaming services.
Even though his best friends are racist. Walt Disney.
He was.
He was.
Is because he's still alive.
His head's still in the Disney office.
In the
Futurama told me that. So
in the cryo freezer.
And I feel like Futurama is a great representation of the future.
Oh my god.
Because it's made by Matt Groening and he made Simpsons. So.
Oh, that's right, and they know the future.
Exactly.
Look at this cat. So, he is so.
He's in heaven. He's been waiting outside all day. He was like, "I'm finally trying to get into some of this air. Y'all been hogging it." But yeah, so the streaming services was the longest episode. Our shortest episode was earlier this year. It was just episode week. It was 34 minutes. We just started recording, no plans. That's actually kind of how we've been doing it lately, loosey goosey.
I never know what's going on.
I'll give you plans. I usually give you, well, it depends. Like I said, the last few episodes just been like, oh, this is it. Let's do it.
Even when you give me plans, I never know what to do. What are we doing again?
You know, Gary. Even though I lay stuff out pretty well all the time. Well, a lot of the episodes we did. Tournaments we did, I laid it out. I did a lot of work on the tournaments.
You did.
The Bond episodes, I did a lot of work just getting, because like obviously that was the first, so I had to make sure everything was correct, you know. Getting all the
we're supposed to do another movie review thing, but you tripping.
Movie review?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We're supposed to watch another series.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's wait 1 second. That's in year 2.
It was supposed to be in year 1.
Okay, but
that was like basically the whole foundation for this podcast. All right, sir.
But can we just say that we did watch all the Bond movies? We did watch all the Harry Potter movies. Can I get a little credit for that? We binged Umbrella Academy.
That don't count.
Boys, WandaVision. Well,
those don't count. Nah. Movies.
Okay, Indiana Jones.
No, that don't count. We both asleep.
We tried. We tried though. I tried.
That 4th movie was rough.
It wasn't that. It was late.
It was rough for me.
I worked.
I tried, man.
So he got injured on the set on Indiana Jones 5. Apparently, I think it's like 2 weeks ago.
Ain't he like in his 80s? What is he doing?
He trying to make a 5th movie.
For what?
Somebody wants it.
You're right. They
don't. I want to hear the theme. I want somebody to make a rap. I want to make somebody a rap version of it. Is 21 Savage available? He did Spiral so well.
I was about to say, is he the only rapper you know?
He's the only one that does things from mediums I like. So
I Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole.
I know those names. Couldn't tell you a song names. Is Lupe Fiasco still a thing? Is he
wow! Stop! Just stop. No, move on. Stop.
Kid Push is a great song.
It's
on my playlist. Type in my playlist. So that's some of the various episodes we discussed. Obviously, we already talked about.
I'm sorry. Can we talk about your playlist really quickly?
Yeah.
Do you just have one solid playlist? Like you don't break them down? It's just one long.
390 songs on one playlist. Is it supposed to be broken up in?
Yeah, like a playlist. No. Like I have a playlist for work what I made that playlist when I was working at Panera.
Got you.
So I'm working overnight and I need to, be awake, be alert, whatever. So that's my work playlist. I have a workout playlist for when I go to the gym. Don't work out.
Actually, I lie. I have 2 playlists. I have a regular playlist and then a shower playlist, which songs I get pumped when I'm cleaning myself.
Because if you don't have you're just like,
water, soap.
Gotta get under my boobs. Clean under your boobs is so like.
Anyway,
it's just something people shouldn't have to do. There, said it. Not ashamed.
again, so we did the 3 Bond episodes. Did you just sexual harassment?
No, it's not sexual harassment.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Jesus. So we did the 3 Bond episodes. Of course, these are like my what's it called? When it's the director's like biggest like accomplishment they done. Magnum opus.
Magnum opus.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
That's what I feel. I feel like that was my greatest piece of work. That was a lot of work to do for besides the tournaments as well, but that was a lot of work to do. Of course, my favorite episode. You said your favorite episode was introduction. My favorite episode was the battle between our birth years, because that's something we've always been discussing for like that predates.
For a very long time.
That predates our podcast, and it was just fun talking about
how 1992 is superior.
Okay.
I agree.
I think it's both 9s, 9 out of 10s.
I think 1992 is a 10.
It can't be a 10. People died in a year, so.
People always die. That's the circle of life. I don't get sad when people die. Well, it doesn't bum me out that much for a long time that people die.
Well, I'm just saying it can't be a 10. I mean,
I feel like that might be a lie.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
People die is what I'm trying to say. It's circle of life. People die, and unfortunately, the world keeps moving.
So. I spoke on the wheel. Yep. But yeah, so that was my favorite episode. I just love talking about 1990 to 1992 because that's obviously that has a lot of nostalgia for us. And of course, talk about Home Alone movies. It's always my favorite because we both were blessed to have.
What was that? It was 91, 92?
What?
The movies.
Home Alone came out in 1990. Home Alone 2 came out in 92. Come on, Robyn.
Home Alone 2 came out in
92.
All right.
How did you know? How did you remember?
I just want to hear you say it.
It's like one of the biggest movies of all time.
I just want to hear you say it. I know what I said.
One of the rare movies that are better than the sequel's better than the original.
You know, we should start a GoFundMe account.
For what?
For boob reduction.
We also talked about obviously two of the big things that happened in 2020 was obviously COVID-19 and just all the racial inequality this year or last year. So we did have episodes about those. That was like early. That was like single digit episode numbers. So we're talking about like June, July and August were those episodes when I was still home. And when we used to record like 2 episodes a day, remember that?
Yeah, I do actually.
You made that
not
face.
My favorite.
Of course, we talked about the streaming services on like different like numerous accounts because obviously that's what we both consume the most of. I would say
what is cable?
I would say like 75% of my viewing when I'm watching something is streaming. I count YouTube because that's a streaming network. So 75% of what I usually view, 25% I would equate to like if I watch the news or wrestling or basketball, like whatever sport is on, like ESPN or whatever. That's still cable.
Wait, I have a question. Is YouTube streaming or is it social media?
No, it's streaming. It's streaming. So.
Okay. Then I am probably 96% streaming. I forget that we still have cable.
I love that we have cable just because the internet is not always. It's not always
right. There. You're right. So that's the only time I was looking for what is that? The Maleficent, the first movie. And I couldn't find it anywhere, but it was on cable on Sci-Fi. So I recorded it.
Sci-Fi.
I recorded it, and I watched. That was the last thing I watched on cable.
Sci-Fi. Did they have commercials?
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I know.
You're the worst.
The worst. But even then, I recorded it and I watched it on my laptop. So I streamed it on my laptop.
Yeah, that counts.
So still,
it was funny. I think CarMax did a commercial about like all the things that we shouldn't be doing anymore, like running with a CD player. It was like a lot of like just like things we did in the 90s. I was like, also we should be doing is viewing commercials. That's
for real. Like
y'all made a commercial about things you shouldn't be doing when it's like
that should be like the number one S tier thing that we should not be doing anymore. S-tier. Yeah, like that. We should not be watching commercials anymore. Stop making them.
I feel like them so much. No, I feel like they're always been around. I feel like the way that a lot of things are now, because people don't like ad placements in movies, and that was the next thing. But people don't like that when it's like so like shoved in your face. Like Coca-Cola sponsors this. It's like here's a big Coca-Cola poster that we're going through during the movie. So I don't know. Do people like that, or do they prefer like a 3.5 minute break every time between the action?
But you know what? I feel like. You ever hear the saying or the thought, like, "Oh, racism will die out with the old people"?
Yeah.
Just walk with me here. I feel like I'm hoping. I don't believe that to be true. Number one.
Yeah, no,
but I am just like, man. I hope commercials die out with these old people.
Wow, that's the one hope you want.
that's if when the old people die out, when the baby boomers and busters, when they transition, I would like the commercials to go with them.
It's the commercials are going to be around for a while. Again, I'm all for like ads in place. Like wrestling does that a lot, where like, oh, this is sponsored by Mountain Dew, and they'll give a quick like 15-second synopsis, and because of that, you eliminate a commercial.
Right, that's not bad because of wrestling and how wrestling is set up when you watch it. Whereas if you're doing like a you know what I do like? Was it NBC? Who's like, we'll be back in 1 minute. I can live with that.
Yeah,
those I can live with.
Because that's accurate. They're doing it for Kingdom and Young Rock. That's pretty good.
I can literally run in, go get me something to drink, and run back. It's on.
We don't have to do that anymore. That's another thing. I think that's actually in a commercial as well.
Right, or I could just pause it and do whatever I need to do.
I'm so spoiled.
You know, I feel like I said this before, but that is literally my dream. Like growing up, we used to always have like the most horrible televisions growing up because we just had like no money. I know you don't know what that's like, but
did you just shame me for not having a bad childhood? Like I think you just shamed me.
No, I'm saying I know you can't identify, and
you shame me. You're sure.
No,
you're trying to shame me. It's okay.
I know you do not identify with.
Go ahead.
Us underlings, but
yeah, okay.
So
shaming me. It's not my fault.
But we always had like the worst TVs. Like I remember one time our TV, the picture, everything was upside down. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, everything was upside down. But you know how the play, the rewind, the stop, and the forward buttons, they've always been on the remotes. And I used to always click to like regular live TV, and like it's not working.
What is this?
It only works for the stupid VCR, but I don't want to watch VCR right now because I'm watching Power Rangers or I'm watching X-Men. So I couldn't pause and go to the bathroom. So I'd wet myself. Yo, we used to pee ourselves so much, me and my sister.
What?
We were awful.
It's a show. It won't be there.
No, for like just anything, any old thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys didn't have VCR. You have VCR?
We have VCR.
You have blank tapes on demand?
What?
Like blank tapes, so you can.
No. To record things? No, but I told you the one and only time I did that, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. But anyway, yeah, so like pressing, and I'm just like, oh, they should do something about this. And about 15 years later, about 15, 20 years later, they did. It was probably less time than that because TiVo came out in the early 2000s?
Yeah, like I would say like 04, 05. Because I know when I was using a VCR to record Raw when I went to McDonald's for work. That was like obsolete.
A VCR.
That's what I would use. I'd be like, all right.
18, 19 years old. Still using VCR.
Because it was great. It was still there. I put the VCR in.
What year is that? 2008, 2009?
Yeah. It's 2009, my first day. I remember recording it. I put the VCR in. I set the time on the VCR to make sure it was accurate with the real time. And made sure I said, okay, Raw was on at 9 o'clock because this one was 2 hours. The good old days. You put it on at 9 o'clock, and then Raw we used to go over because they didn't care back in the day. Now it's like, oh, 11 o'clock, get off my show, because USA knows what their investment is. So I'll put like 11:30 and get home, and it'll be recorded. I had blank tapes at ready.
You got tapes upstairs.
Yeah.
In the attic.
That's not even like not even the what's it called? That's not even like the foundation. There's so many other tapes I have. Like I just
those tapes are probably ruined, you know.
Oh yeah, of course they are. Okay.
So I could throw them away.
You probably you could. Everything's on Peacock now.
Okay.
Or some of that stuff is the original stuff without like if they work. Where they cursed or they bled or something like that, and Peacock's like, oh, that's never happened, or they had Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah.
Chris Benoit.
So what you're saying is I can go upstairs and throw away all the stuff that's up there. That's yours. That's what I heard. You see, that's what I heard.
Here's a line right.
That's what I heard.
Just ran right past it.
What do you use that's up there?
Next up, wait, can we keep going?
I'm sorry.
We're doing Retrospect episode.
Yeah. God, my boobs are so cute.
So we also talked about the Powerpuff Girls remake or reboot, whatever they're doing with CW. And that brought up about a question whether we were, more Disney, more Nickelodeon, or Cartoon Network growing up.
Disney Cartoon Network than Nickelodeon for me.
Nickelodeon was always number one.
Sorry, I'm not even gonna lie. I did that. I don't know. Nickelodeon. I feel like because of Nick Jr., it started to seem too babyish to me. Even though I love Playhouse Disney.
I don't really. I wasn't.
PB&J, man.
Face was my man's.
Oh my God.
Don't disrespect Face and Blue's Clues and Dora the Explorer. 11 to 12. Dora the Explorer was still entertaining though as a 12-year-old. It was funny to me.
I was too old for Dora the Explorer when it came out.
She said, "Can you find where we're going?" And it's just like a pause, and you're like, "It's over there, Chip." Like,
you'll see it. But like, I love the Barney. I think that's what it was. I loved Barney so much, and I got made fun of Barney, so I had to like.
You shouldn't be ashamed.
No. Barney was the ish.
I can't wait for this Barney horror movie to come out. I'm so excited.
So what?
Didn't we talk about this?
No.
What's the main character from Get Out? His real name, the actor's name, Daniel.
Daniel Kaluuya.
I think he's doing something like either writing or producing a Barney origin horror movie, because of course he should, because he's a horrible person. He's a scary dinosaur. So excited. Barney is a dinosaur. I'm ready for it. Give it to me.
I'm so down for this.
They did a Banana Splits horror movie as well.
I don't know what that means. Banana Split what?
Hanna-Barbera cartoon back in the day.
I know Hanna-Barbera.
All right.
Don't pat me like.
It's okay. We also talked about it's look it up. It was on Sci-Fi. Of all things. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to keep going.
You're grabbing my
You're nubbin.
Yeah, my nubbin.
What is this? The hook?
Whatever.
The meat.
So yeah,
overlay.
I've always been a Nickelodeon person, so that's always number one for me. Even though I can't watch Rick and Josh anymore. Thanks, Drake.
Nah, thanks for coming. It's one reboot we'll never get. Never get.
Nickelodeon just said, "Oh." Let's just X that right off.
But now we're one step closer to not Drake and Josh, the other one you like, Kenan and Kel.
We already discussed that. If I get anything with Kenan and Kel, it'll be Kel guest starring on Kenan.
And that would be a great day. Tell me that guy on Kenan. He's obviously like.
He's obviously. Yes.
How is he not supposed to be Kel? Like.
Maybe Kel.
How did Kel not get that?
Anyway, we also talked. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm very excited about that anyway. Of course, we had a great episode talking about the Disney's Investors Day that last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing because Disney was just like, "Hey, here's this. Oh,
and this.
You like this? Hey, here's this. Here's coming as well." Like they really just they really just had like they checked out every fan they had. You like animation movies? Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Pixar fan as well? Here you go.
Like
Marvel
live action.
We legit have everything from Marvel. And of course, they finally revealed they were working on Fantastic Four, which of course we all knew, but it's good to have confirmation.
Who's gonna play them?
Yeah, that's a big
everybody wants to Krasinski and his wife.
Well, of course they do, but
that'd be nice.
I'm all for it, but Krasinski's he's a famous director now, so
yeah, but he can still get that Disney money on the side.
I'd be very surprised if John
what Krasinski, a resume.
Yeah, like
to be in the MCU working for Disney, but you're also a director and doing your own movies. That would probably be too much now that I think about it. But that would be so cool.
I would love him. I'm a big fan of Krasinski. John Krasinski, of course. The Office is again my favorite show of all time. But I don't see him doing it. I just don't. It
would be nice.
It's a big undertaking, and I think he would fit the role as well. But I think whoever they picked, they have not steered me wrong with casting just yet. So
Daniel Radcliffe is as can't say it. Is Wolverine?
No, it's not real, Robin.
Oh,
Jesus! Say it for YouTube, Dad. Lord Jesus, her. You know if they.
It wasn't on YouTube.
Okay, well,
Google told me.
No, you know if that was real, it would have been everywhere. Goodness gracious!
I meant to text you.
If he was okay. I am so open to their casting choices because they have not missed one yet. There have not been a bad casting choice yet. I prefer they had do it unknown as Wolverine, but that's just me.
So Hugh Jackman can come back if he sucks.
No, just because there's gonna be backlash regardless. But I'd rather somebody unknown get the backlash than somebody like Daniel Radcliffe or what's the guy's name who plays Sabretooth?
Liv.
Yeah. him or like who else did they want to play? There was another really good casting choice, but whatever. We had a great 2-part episode. We talked about farewell of 2020 because 2020 was such a
trash year,
such an amazing time in history, and there's so much happened in front of obviously COVID, the Black Lives Matter movement. Australia burned for like a while.
Chadwick Boseman.
Basically it's all the celebrity deaths. What is he? He's like, what is this? This is nice. I like this.
I could play with this. Get on my nerves. So cute.
Aliens that kind of just kind of went underneath. In a year without coronavirus and racial equality and all that, aliens would have been a top villain. But it was more like Australia or aliens was like the opening match to the whole year, even though it was like nobody really remembers the opening. You remember like the main event or whatever, right? So that's how I felt. But we did that as well. We did 3 episodes of This or That. Of course, This or That we did this or that. It's just basically is that you pick 2 things.
This or that, Chino or Joaquin.
I can't pick between the 2 cats.
I can. Chino.
Wow. By the time you yell at Chino and he's in front of your face. I'm surprised he didn't get up here. If we were downstairs recording when your station, he'd be like, "Yo."
Oh, he'd be like,
I'm here.
Hey, what this do?
Is this a computer? I heard so many things about it.
He would lay on the keyboard. It's so ignorant, but I'd still choose him over Joaquin.
Well, I'm surprised you can make that choice so easily, but you couldn't pick between Sean Connery and Antonio Banderas.
I don't.
And that's why that's why we have never done another episode, because you ruined the concept of This or That.
I don't know why you would think you can just pick. No,
it's not like life or death. Just pick one.
It is because you will hold me to that all the time.
Yeah, because you picked it.
Yeah, so that's why.
It doesn't mean that you don't like one or the other.
But you would make it seem like that or make me feel bad for picking one over the other.
How do you feel?
And I seriously like both of them. I really, really like both of them.
That's why This or That one has never come back because of that.
Well, sorry, y'all. It's his fault that he don't want to bring it back because he is unhappy with the way that I live my life.
You ruin the integrity. Just pick one, right?
No.
Why? What are you scared for?
I'm not scared. I just don't want to do it.
Do you feel like the Sean Connery fans will come after you or something?
No, I personally do not want to pick between 2 of my favorite actors.
It's Sean Connery.
No, don't try to speak for me.
We also did our first tier list. That's like a few weeks ago. We did the X-Men film tier list, which was pretty fun. That's a fun series to do because again, there's so many ups and downs with that series. So many ups and downs. More downs than ups. So that's fun. I think in year 2
You're not even a real X-Men fan.
Huh?
You're not even a real X-Men fan.
I am. I watch all movies. Even the New Mutants. In theaters. I paid the money to see in theaters. You can't call me not no X-Men fan at all of that.
I want cake.
And I saw Dark Phoenix as well in theaters.
Well, Dark Phoenix wasn't that bad of a movie.
It wasn't that bad of a movie.
Don't at me.
Again, it's like when you say, but the comics were better.
I've stopped saying that.
No, you didn't.
Listen, I have.
What's it called? Jupiter's Legacy, whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Canceled within 2 weeks of it coming out?
That was messed up because that was good. I liked it. I really liked it.
You're one of the few.
The ending, I totally called it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
And they said it may not even be gone. It's just gone off Netflix.
It's gone.
We don't know that because they're doing a spinoff to it.
I know, but that version of it, gone. Cut it.
Nothing is set in stone.
Delete it from Netflix. Netflix. That's how. I don't understand. Again, I never understand like the algorithms for Netflix because again.
Yeah, it's supposed to. No, dead up.
It's so weird because it's like, all right, here's a new show, and then 2 weeks later it got canceled. That's like, did you even give it a chance in 2 weeks?
I'm working. Maybe I'm taking a 2-week vacation. They ain't got no Netflix on the island of the Galapagos. You like that?
Why is this thing just spinning on my computer now?
Because obviously something is wrong.
I got it. It's cool now. I was scared that one. No, not yet. Of course, we did the 2 tournaments. We did the greatest theme song ever tournament TV show.
What do we
theme
pick?
Song? Fresh Prince, obviously. Don't suck your teeth. It's a great choice. It was the right choice. It was better than it, Robyn. I just didn't even make it to the finals. Remember?
It didn't make it to the finals.
It was Pokemon. That's why it goes Fresh Prince. Thank you, Dave, because Pokemon is the better theme song.
Effing Dave.
And then, of course, we did the greatest superhero tournament. We did that first, actually, and that was very controversial. We don't talk about
really.
Deadpool,
only for you.
For everybody. I asked everybody I told said the same damn thing. They said Deadpool over Spider-Man 2. Everybody said that. Wait a second. And then Deadpool over Endgame. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. My God. Black Panther won. I'm not mad at that because I again.
Can I?
No, not yet. I'm still talking. Thank you. Let me finish, sir.
Who you calling the sir?
Okay. Yeah, in my head.
Who you calling the sir?
Got my head. Let me finish my thought.
Ooh.
Anyway, Black Panther was one of my endgame killers. It had to go up against it because I feel like, again, it's such a great self-contained story. But regardless, it's over and done with. Black Panther won. So
I would just like to say Marcus was the one who said.
I did say it.
I know Endgame is the obvious choice, but I really don't want Endgame to win.
But y'all put Deadpool over it.
You're welcome. Is what you should be.
Just don't think that I don't think Spider-Man 2 should win in the first round. I'm still very hot about that. And that was in October. I'm still
what did it go again?
Deadpool 2, I believe it was. It's not the better movie. Stop. We're not gonna talk about this again.
We can do another one.
Anyway, no, we're not. We're not doing no reboot of it. If we do a reboot like 5 years, now we'll have an actual panel of people, not just you and Del. So you don't ruin the entirety of the tournament.
Oh, you mad?
And then, of course, the last episode we just did was Sports for Father's Day, honoring our late father, which was a very nice episode. Got a good cry out. So those are that's all the things we've done in the past year, and what's coming in the future. Of course, we are still going to be doing. I would like to continue to do our 2 tournaments a year, daily, annual, biannual, semi-annual. 2 tournaments a year, daily. Goodness gracious. So I would like to be doing something in the fall, and then of course always do another tournament in March because it goes with March Madness. So do you have any ideas for tournaments that you would like to see? Something even if it's like maybe that's have to be something that's granted 64 entrants.
Can we do something with food?
Like what? Like the greatest food?
I don't know. No, not the greatest food. That's just too blah. Like, but something.
What about restaurant or chain or something like that, or like?
Okay,
I'm literally just stepping this. You don't have an idea.
No, I don't.
I give you ideas.
Asked me.
Like,
You never asked me this question beforehand.
Like, what do you want to eat? I don't know.
I do know. You just never want to go there.
Where?
India food. What's up? When? When we gonna go? When?
You know my baby palate can't take that.
They got chicken. That's all you need.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I don't know what.
I was
Indian food. That's exactly what I was saying.
We're going back to the tournament. I asked you for a tournament.
Oh, tell me food.
Okay, and I'm giving you favorite food.
Oh, I don't know. You just asked me this first time.
You know,
off the top of my head, I'm always down to do things food related.
All right, so you workshop that. Workshop it.
I gave you the idea, baby. It's all.
I said restaurants. You didn't say anything.
But like what Oh, because you said it doesn't need to be that many, right?
It could be 32. It could be 16.
Yeah. Well, that means we need to go out then, because I don't think we've been to enough restaurants. So like, maybe we can record our experience a little and put that on. We should have recorded our experience at Joe's Crab Shack. That's what we should have did.
Nah,
that John was
a little
different.
I was a little feeling myself that night, so.
What you mean feeling yourself?
I had 2 drinks. What's? I probably wouldn't have been the best time to do it.
Marcus. Huh? Had 2 drinks.
That's a lot for me.
Were you feeling inebriated?
I was not, but I was feeling good, and I was a little hot.
It was a hot day.
It was pretty hot. No, it wasn't. It was nice that day.
No, it was a hot day. Yeah.
So we want to do a tournament in the fall, sometime maybe in October, and then another tournament in March next year. So we're thinking of things. I originally had said, maybe we could do like Disney songs. But again, that's a big undertaking. That's definitely a 64 caliber thing. I had to find somebody who actually knows Disney songs as well. Besides you, obviously you're part of it.
That means you need to brush up Sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said undertaking. It's a lot because I only know like a few, and there's so many.
And you need to brush up.
There's literally too many songs, but I know songs that would go far would be like Under the Sea, anything from Lion King, and
Let It Go.
Actually, no, yeah. Well, I'm not voting. I would never vote for it because I don't like the
How
song.
Far I Go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's some songs like Into the Unknown for me is better than Let It Go, but that's just my opinion.
Is that because Panic at the Disco?
I was just about to say it's the OG version that's better for me. This is OG versus OG. Yep, 100%. I don't like Let It Go. It's an overrated song.
Wait a minute. Into the Unknown, sung by Elsa and them. You like better than Panic at the Disco?
I didn't say I like it better than that version. I like the OG version of Into the Unknown versus the OG version of Let It Go.
Let It Go. Got you.
Yep.
Have you heard the Demi Lovato version of Let It Go?
Don't matter.
It's not.
But it's still the same song.
It's different. The arrangement is different.
So we would do like, if it came to it, I would have to do, if I can't find 64 songs in 100 Disney movies, which I'm sure I can, it's very easy. But also, how would I break it up? Are you breaking it up in like the old movies versus the old movies, like we did with this tournament, or we're doing
that's probably best.
That's very, very large undertaking. Mm-hmm. And then am I including Pixar movies because Pixar is part of Disney? You got a friend in me.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Are you just?
You got a friend in me, sir.
He said, "Bite. I can bite."
He said, "Tasty snack for Chino."
Wires taste like fish. You get my nerves. I don't know.
I was talking about Pixar songs.
No, yeah. So with the Pixar songs, like, because a lot with the Disney movies, it's sung by Disney characters. So the Pixar, that's what I'm saying. The Pixar songs is not sung by, or I'm trying to think of them. You got to that's not sung by Buzz or Woody.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. So maybe not. I don't know.
But then again, Tarzan has like one of the best Disney soundtracks ever, and none of them are singing. Oh wait, no, the mother, the gorilla mom, she sings one, so no, it counts. Never mind. That's Phil Collins, always a win.
That's a big undertaking. So I'll look into it. I'm not going to say that would be the false format because I feel like that's a lot of work. Like a lot of work that
that'd be fun.
That can be done maybe 2 months, maybe. Maybe I can. I'm not sure. I'll look into it.
Okay.
What else as far as tournament wise? I don't really know what else we both have what's it called? Maybe we could do a genre movie or something that we both like, or actors that we all actors and actresses that we both like, something like that. In terms of how their work in movies or things like that, or like.
Speaking of actors that you like, are we gonna watch Cruella?
Oh, that is out, isn't it? I completely forgot that was out, and it's Quiet Place 2, Part 2, but that'll be on Paramount Plus in a few weeks, so I can wait for that.
Okay, but Cruella.
That'll be on Disney Plus for free very soon.
When?
It came out when?
May.
So August 20 something. So like about a month and a half. The next movie we're gonna see in theaters. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Say it.
Black Widow.
That's not what it is, because if it's, I told you how I feel about that. If my schedule does not line up for theaters, Disney Plus will be getting every little penny. But we're definitely going to see it in theaters.
Like a sucker.
No sucker. It's basically the same price.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's like what, like $5 less than the movies.
So it's not the same price. Is what I'm saying.
It will be, because I don't have to buy nothing, no food or anything. The next movie that's definitely gonna see in theaters is.
You only buy food anyway.
Escape Room Tournament of Champions. July 16th comes out the same day as Space Jam 2, but I'll be watching that on HBO Max
because we pay for it.
I don't understand. People are like, "Oh, it's on HBO Max. I'm gonna go to the theater." You have HBO Max, sir. Like, why would you go to the theater? I don't understand. That's why it's kind of baffling. Godzilla vs. King Kong did so well. It's like number 3 movie of the year.
Did people really go out to see it?
Yeah, of course they did. It's the box office numbers. They're not talking about HBO numbers. It's box office. Okay. So yeah,
how much did it make?
Like 445 million worldwide.
Nice, good for you guys.
It might be 345. It's definitely like between 3 and 4.
Okay.
So that's a lot of money for a hybrid release. So people, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people are like excited that maybe Black Widow will do pretty well. I think that will, because that is like, Like Fast 9 is doing extremely well, which is
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it.
It's only in theaters. I haven't seen it. I'm not watching it. And then another thing we're going to be doing is deep dives into the MCU and the DCEU.
Break your fingers.
And when we're talking about deep dive, we want to talk about what we did with the Bond film. So like breaking it up into phases. So obviously the MCU has it in phases already. So thank you to the directors and everybody, because I can just do it phase 1, phase 2.
That's literally how it is on Disney Plus. Phase 1,
Great.
phase 2. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we'll do the same thing. We'll do like the dates of its release, how much money it made, the budget, things like that, actors in it, release dates, all that. We'll talk about that for each phase for the MCU. For DCU, I got to tell Robyn, I think we can probably fit it into one episode. I don't think we don't need to do 2 episodes, 2 or 3 for DCEU. I could be wrong.
We need to do the DCAU.
I have not seen any of them.
That is not my problem. Get on it. Get your life together.
You can talk about it if you want. I'm just going to sit here. I don't know anything about it. I don't.
They're all right there for you on
not
Disney
all
Plus.
of them. Yeah, Disney Plus.
HBO Max.
Not all of them are on HBO Max.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are.
Well, you said all, so it's not the same thing. Call back to what you just said. It's a circle. I mean, choke for those who are on Spotify or Google Podcasts.
No, you're not.
I was. Literally.
Where are the marks?
Wow. Victim shaming now.
Stop it.
Wow.
You wanted it. That's victim shaming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you said I wanted it? I did not want it.
I was using that as an example.
Wow, Robyn, you are.
Wow, Marcus. I just remembered I got some canned lychee in the car, so we need to.
That is it. Well, we're done anyway. So yeah, that's been year 1 in the Fatman and Robyn podcast. Again, year 2, a lot of things, but definitely, like I said, MCU episodes. I'm probably like 3 or 4 episodes, honestly. Well, phase 1 doesn't need too much of a talking about, because we know it's not the best phase. It's okay.
It's not that it's not the best phase.
I know, Robyn. I know.
It's just that all the other phases are so much better.
I was talking about this in the shower with myself the other day as I was thinking out the plans. Jesus. And then, of course, tournaments. The tournaments are coming. They're coming back. Again, I don't know if they'll be as grand as 32. Again, I do think the Disney one deserves 64 because there's so many great songs. And I'm sitting here thinking about all the other great songs from all the great movies. And it's just like blowing my mind. So, what would you think would be like a number 1 or number 2? Like, what's the top seed in this tournament for the songs? Like, what's something that's like, yeah, it has to be. It'll go far. It could win.
I don't know. I think it's probably some of the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I think it depends on whoever the third person would be or whoever we ask. I prefer to have somebody like here with us, by the way, even if it's through Zoom. Not the other thing that we did with Mom and Dave. Well,
it didn't work. Well, that was the last minute thing.
I understand. Okay. All right. But if I think someone is like, nostalgia is our whole thing.
Well, how about this? It's your job. You gotta find somebody who knows these songs.
Yeah, you want me to? I don't know people.
Robyn, you're literally, well, I said you see more people than I do, but that's not the case. You make more relationships with people than I do.
Yeah, and then they fizzle.
Okay, well,
I'm a fizzle relationshipper.
Well, have them fizzle after we do the tournament. Can we do that? Appreciate that. All right, we're closing out. Thank you for joining us for this Retrospect episode. Thank you for joining us for this whole year. First year of the Fatman and Robyn podcast. We're now in year 2.
Hey.
And we're going to be doing more things with the podcast. So thank you for joining us. We are on all podcast channels. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Audible, Deezer, Overcast, anywhere you get your podcast. We're on YouTube. You want the video version? It's Fatman and Robyn. Robyn spelled with a Y because
I'm fancy.
Those eyes were something else. Love them. Oh my God. Could you not? So thanks for joining us for this week. And thank you for joining us for the whole year 1. And we'll see you in year 2 of the podcast. Can you stop doing that?
It's just my eyes. You don't like my eyes?
Never seen the eyes like that ever. Do it again. I'm Marcus Stevens, represented by the Fat Man. As a Fat Man, I can't even speak English because you messed me up. Yeah, you like that?
I'm Robyn.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week for another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye. Chino says bye.